Hello, Reds fans. Welcome to the YNWA Transfer News Channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for your daily latest news.
Our first news is this. Anthony Gordon still an option for Liverpool despite Alexander Isak transfer links. Anthony Gordon could be on Liverpool's radar if Luis Diaz departs this summer, despite the club's interest in Alexander Isak. The Reds were close to securing Gordon last year after agreeing a deal with Premier League rival Newcastle. However, the Magpies pulled out of the deal after sourcing the necessary funds elsewhere to meet profit and sustainability rules, PSR. In the meantime, Diaz is said to have expressed his wish to leave the club. Liverpool has already turned down an offer from Bayern Munich for the Premier League winning winger. Should the Reds decide to part ways with Diaz, they'll need a replacement. And Gordon, who has been linked with a move to Anfield for some time, has consistently impressed in the Premier League. Despite coming up through Everton's youth system, Gordon is a lifelong Liverpool fan and would welcome a return to Merseyside, with TBR Football suggesting the player is in the conversation to replace Diaz. If Diaz leaves Merseyside, Liverpool is unlikely to swoop for both Gordon and Isak. Right now, it feels as if the latter is more likely to replace Diaz at Anfield. In other news, Atlanta is set to intensify its pursuit of Liverpool winger Federico Chiesa this summer, as per Caught Offside. The 27-year-old has found regular game time hard to come by since his move from Juventus last August, and could exit Anfield before the transfer window shuts. After securing third place in Serie A last season, Atlanta is emerging as the favorite to sign the Italy international. The Italian team is eager to strengthen its forward line and see Chiesa as a prime target. However, Corriere della Sera has reported that Atlanta intends to offload Ademola Lookman first, and then use a portion of that fee to secure Chiesa. Moreover, Liverpool hasn't abandoned its efforts to negotiate a new contract for Ibrahima Konate, despite interest from Real Madrid, according to Foot Mercado. With less than 12 months remaining on his Anfield contract, there are fears that Konate could follow in the footsteps of Trent Alexander-Arnold and leave the Reds for Madrid after running down his contract. The Reds, however, are doing everything within their means to avoid losing Konate on a free transfer. It remains to be seen whether he will accept a new offer from Liverpool or let his contract run out and join a new club for free next summer. Latest transfer news. Liverpool ready to break PL record for Isak, Napoli in for Sterling. The summer transfer window is officially open with clubs now able to add new signings to their squad. The biggest clubs in European football and clubs across the continent are already making plans for next season. Teams are working tirelessly behind the scenes on identifying targets and figuring out their budgets. Managers will be constantly assessing their squads with sporting directors and recruitment staff scanning the market for potential deals. A plethora of players will become available in the summer where clubs famously have more money to spend and aren't as restricted by financial fair play rules. The rumor mill is beginning to pick up pace and we've collated some of the biggest current transfer stories. Liverpool are poised to make a British record bid for Newcastle and Sweden striker Alexander Isak, with both Chelsea and Manchester United ruling themselves out of a move, after the forward asked to leave the club. Chelsea's English winger Raheem Sterling has been offered a potential escape route from Stamford Bridge, after the 30-year-old emerged as one of a number of forward targets for Italian champions Napoli. According to reports in Italy, Brazil international Douglas Luiz failed to report for the first day of preseason training at Juventus on Thursday as West Ham, Everton and Liverpool all have interest in the midfielder. Virgil van Dijk on Florian Wirtz chat, Liverpool transfer spend and message for Hugo Ektyke. When talks were significantly stepped up between Liverpool and Virgil van Dijk over a new contract earlier this year, the Reds captain was promised that a major transfer window was approaching at Anfield, and having signed a new 2-year extension in April, it is fair to say the Premier League champions have kept to their word. Van Dijk has sat back and watched on in recent weeks while the club's recruitment department have spent the thick end of £300 million this summer, with more arrivals planned. It started with the triggering of Jeremy Frimpong's release clause from Bayer Leverkusen at the beginning of June, with the Netherlands international arriving in a £29.5 million deal to effectively take Trent Alexander-Arnold's spot at right back, even if the versatile Dutchman is not being viewed as a typical like-for-like replacement for the now Real Madrid star. That was followed swiftly by the £116 million club record deal for Frimpong's Leverkusen teammate Florian Wirtz, with the Reds fending off interest from Manchester City, Bayern Munich and belatedly Real Madrid for the Bundesliga Player of the Season. The long-standing interest in Milos Kerkez at Bournemouth saw a £40 million agreement reached with the Cherries, while Georgi Mamardashvili's £29 million transfer, that was agreed with Valencia last year, was also ratified alongside deals for £1.5 million Armin Pexi and Freddie Woodman, who joins from Preston North End as a free agent to boost the homegrown quota. The £79 million deal with Eintracht Frankfurt for striker Hugo Ekitike saw the France under-21 international complete a medical in London on Tuesday before he was flown out to Hong Kong to meet his new colleagues at the end of their open training session at the Kai Tak Stadium on Thursday. As show of ambitions go, it's been quite the few weeks for a Liverpool team who already entered the window on the back of a season where they won the title by 10 points, having wrapped it up with 4 games to spare. For Van Dijk, the idea that they're planning to make it a big summer, as he put it in April, has been proven correct. Yeah, I don't think it's been a bad transfer window in terms of the additions that we have made and the money we've spent, Van Dijk says, speaking in Hong Kong after Thursday's training session. The club is obviously trying to improve our squad. The Premier League is incredibly strong, so it's only right that we have to improve too. We know we have a very good team, but additions are always a plus, and I've been really impressed with how they have settled in. Showing their qualities on the pitch is important, but also how they are off the pitch in terms of settling in with us. I'm sure if you asked them, they would say they feel very welcome so far. They have clicked really well with the group. Listen, there are no guarantees in terms of retaining the title or winning more trophies. But improving the squad is always a good thing. Adding quality helps to raise the standard in both training and games, hopefully. We've all seen it over the years. The team which is the most consistent during the season wins titles, and that's the aim we have. We want to show our quality in every single aspect of the game. That's a very tough job. If it was easy, then you'd have a lot of teams up there until the end. Of all the excitement that surrounds the raft of new arrivals, it is surely Wirtz whose capture has set most pulses racing. The 22-year-old is the jewel of German football and had been wanted by Bundesliga giants Bayern before the player himself was believed to have been blown away by the level of detail planned for him by Slot. The Reds will pay an initial £100 million for the attacking midfielder, with a further £16 million of add-ons, and his arrival will offset the creative shortfall of Alexander-Arnold's departure, with Wirtz expected to feature predominantly as something of an archetypal number 10 in the midfield system. When I joined the club I said it, I don't think there's a better place to be than Liverpool, Van Dijk adds. I really feel that way. We had a fantastic season and I feel like this can only become better. When Florian spoke to the club and certain players, I spoke to him as well a little bit. I'm sure he got a feel for it. And then he made a decision. Coming here, he can really make an impact in my opinion. But it's also down to him in terms of showing it every single day. He's getting there, and it's good to see. I spoke to him, when that was as between me and him. I said to him, Liverpool is the place to be. On Ekitike, who may feature on Saturday when AC Milan are met at the Kai Tak Stadium, Van Dijk says, we just had a very brief chat on the pitch at the end of training. I'll have a proper sit-down with him tonight. The message is the hard work starts now. That's it. You're playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world now. The pressure will be on you. You need to show your qualities. Thanks for watching. Like and comment. Subscribe.